Has everybody got themselves comfortable? Has everybody got themselves a cup of tea, warm? Yeah. Good. Coffee is allowed. Pets sorted. There might be a few other folks on their way in, but we'll make a start because time is precious, and so are you. So thank you everybody for coming. Some from all over the place, and oh, there we go. There's Chloe. New friends and old, or long-standing, should I say? That's probably a better way to put it. Thank you for coming. I'll just do the housekeeping stuff, which used to be when there was the fire exit and all the rest of it. It's slightly different on Zoom. And then we just thought we'll just say hello to each other and just kind of check in. So just get yourselves comfortable. I've mentioned about the names. We are recording. We will be recording. But the breakout rooms when we go into, we won't be recording. Brilliant. Yeah, everybody, we're all gate crashers, Wendy. We're all kind of going, where have we landed? So don't worry about that. So names, feel free to change them. You can also, probably best to be on mute when we're all in a kind of big group for all those strange noises that happen. I know you all know this. If your video connectivity is good, when we're on the whiteboard or whatever, if you want to just turn it off, just please do. You don't have to show your video if you choose not to. It's entirely up to you. We're doing breakouts later, and just drop in and out. Just get yourself a cup of tea or go for a pee or whatever you need to anytime. Nobody's watching. Nobody is looking. So is that okay? Anything else I've missed on the Zoom social niceties front there? You're probably much more experienced than me on that. Right. So welcome. We thought we'd just start saying hello. So Maya, do you want to?
Yeah, sure. Just firstly,
introduce yourself.
So yeah, it's great to see so many people here, and some of you I know and I've spoken to before, and some are completely new faces. But I'm Maya, and I'm working alongside Sue in Dementia Friendly East Lothian. And I met Sue actually with the Resilience Group when we were both volunteering in North Berwick. So that's kind of where our work together stemmed from. And I will be helping, kind of the role is yet to be decided, but a facilitator within the Celebrating Communities project. So basically just hopefully to make everybody's life easier along the way. That's me. Jacqueline, do you want to introduce yourself?
Jackie, well, I haven't found out how to change my name, and I managed to do something really weird, but got back in again. So I'm Jackie Bell. I'm on Dunbar Community Council, Local Area Partnership, Health and Wellbeing Group, Day Centre Sustaining Dunbar. But since COVID, been one of the main coordinators for the COVID response in Dunbar and West Barnes. And I've been attending some of the East Lothian Council regrouping, reorganising meetings, which are largely a plan to plan a plan.
Brilliant. And I see you've changed your name now to Jackie Many Hats, so that's
I did that. I did that.
Who's done that for you?
Right.
Jackie, I've just changed your name to Jackie Many Hats.
Right. Okay.
You like to be Jackie Dunbar?
Oh, Jackie Bell.
I'm just going to go around to the right. So I've got Claire next, if you want to introduce yourself.
Hi everybody, I'm Claire Kearney, relatively new to East Lothian, moved here about 18 months ago and then volunteered for the COVID resilience team. So that's where I met Sue, Linda and Maya. And I'm really keen to get more involved with community connections and community development. I've never done this professionally, but in my personal life, I've always done a certain amount of community work, but I would just like to do more and do things that bring joy. That's me. Thank you.
Thank you, Claire. Carla?
Hi everyone, I'm Carla. I work for Dementia Dog Project. So we actually cover pretty much most of Scotland. We work alongside our dogs, developing animal assisted activities and animal assisted interventions for people predominantly living with dementia. So this was a face-to-face service pre-COVID, and we have now adapted our service to deliver online sessions.
Where are you based, Carla? Because that sounds really interesting.
So we are a very small team, and we're kind of scattered around Scotland a little bit. So I'm based in Glasgow. Nadia, who's our dementia specialist, she's also on in this meeting. She's in Dundee. But we cover, like I say, we cover actually most of Scotland. It all depends on geographically where we can reach.
Oh, interesting.
Thank you. So Stu, got you next.
Hi everybody, Stuart Gibb. I know a few of you that are here. Used to work for the council. I'm now well, retired from the council, and I'm here in my capacity as the community lead for Radio Saltire, the community radio station based in Tranent. And we've been doing a lot of work over the last year, particularly through lockdown, with connecting further with the communities. And I know Sue from the council days, and we did a lot of work together in the area partnerships. And with that connection still in place, that's kind of brought me here today. So nice to see you all.
Good to see you, Stu.
Thank you.
Brilliant, thank you. Fiona?
Hi everyone. I met Sue, Maya, Claire, and I think Linda's on the call in the resilience group way back in, it's almost a year actually, it's way back in March when we set up. So I got involved in that, and I've been keen to really impressed with what Sue and the team have been doing on the community connections. And Sue's we had a chat about golf and how we could perhaps bring that into the community connections. So I'm looking forward to finding out more about everybody's role, what everybody's doing, and taking things forward.
Thanks, Fiona. We do have Linda here, and she is next on my screen.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Linda Digney. I've been in North Berwick for 3.5 years. Got involved with, I don't want to say all the names again, Maya, Fiona, Sue, Claire, when we all became part of the resilience team in March last year. When the team stood down, I continued to be a befriender for Carol Stobie's group, although I don't befriend anybody, I'm just one of our connecting people, looking after isolation in the community. And I also, when the resilience group stepped down, I also started to volunteer at the community centre because there's still a need in the community kindness for food and other kind of support. So when Sue sent this out, it's really good to be able to work with the oldies again that I did last year, and also all these new faces here, and I'm really looking forward to it.
Brilliant, thank you. Ian Donald.
Hi everyone. I'm from North Berwick. I'm one of the directors in the North Berwick Day Centre for Elderly People. And of course, we have quite a lot of people with dementia. I also coordinate the training for the staff in all the 9 day centres across the whole of East Lothian. I'm a member of the Health and Wellbeing Group in North Berwick, subsidiary member of the Area Partnership, and a member of Rotary.
Well, brilliant. Okay, thank you. And Alan?
Hi there, I'm Alan Gow. I'm from Heriot-Watt University. I'm a researcher and lecturer there, focusing on healthy ageing, specifically how our brain health can be improved as we get older through engagement, activity, social connections, etc. So those are my broad interests, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how many of those things that I'm interested in from a research side obviously get actioned within the community through the various organisations represented here.
Thank you, Alan. Rona Taylor?
Hi, I'm Rona. I'm born and bred Haddington. And I'm a video editor and photographer. I met Sue back when I was in school, in high school, and was sort of around for the early days of Dementia Friendly East Lothian. Went to uni, but now I'm back. I'm living in Haddington again, and I'm just looking to help in any way that I can.
Perfect. Nice to meet you, Rona. And Nadia?
Yeah, hi, I'm Nadia and I'm the dementia specialist with the Dementia Dog Project. It's a collaboration with Alzheimer's Scotland and Dogs for Good. Carla's already told you already about the Community Dog Project and the animal assisted interventions and activities. I work with health and social care partners to inform them of what we do and take referrals. I've also played a big part in the dementia assistance dog side, and I continue to support the families who have our dementia assistance dogs.
Amazing, thank you very much. And Michael, we've got you next, Michael Huddleston.
Hi, I'm a dementia advisor for Alzheimer's Scotland in Mid and East Lothian. So that role means I'm a point of contact for people with dementia and their families and carers at any time when they need information, advice and support. And I've done quite a bit of work with Sue over the past couple of years since I came into role to try and develop things in East Lothian. So it's great to be here and meet some new people as well.
Thanks, Michael. Kirstine?
Hello everyone, I'm Kirstine Powell. I work for Carers of East Lothian. We support unpaid carers, family and friends looking after loved ones with long-term health condition, illness or disability. We've really been made aware this during the pandemic of how isolated many carers and former carers and the people they're looking after are. And so kind of building up communities is something that we're really interested in.
Brilliant, thank you, Kirstine. Anthony Blackburn, got you next.
Hi everyone. I suppose the way to remember me is I'm the golf guy. And with Scotland being the home of golf, I think it's appropriate that I'm on this call today. For the last 5 years, I've been proving how golf can become the highlight of the week for families living with dementia. Not only do the people diagnosed get a chance to enjoy a great time in and around the golf course, but the carers themselves get a chance to have 2 to 3 hours worth of respite support. So we're actually benefiting not just the people diagnosed, but the wider family network. And I'd like to let you know that in the 5 years we've been together, I've got 3 of my customers who have dementia, who've never played golf before and have had a hole-in-one. So I'm hoping that we can bring some of that success to the East Lothian area.
And where are you based, Tony?
Well, my office is my mum's shed in North Yorkshire. But we set up the first ever dementia-friendly golf club in Scotland at Mearns Castle. And that's been operating for about 3 years. So we've got a blueprint in Scotland and we're wanting to obviously bring that to more places across the country.
Right, because we have a lot of golf courses around East Lothian, yeah.
You do, and a lot of them are on my bucket list to play.
Right.
So we'd love to do something with you, and thanks to Fiona and Sue for reaching out to us.
I'm sure there's lots of people that will be wanting to get involved in East Lothian with that. Thank you. So Diane Govenlock, we've got you next.
Hi, yeah, I'm Diane Gumlock. I'm currently the Connected Community Manager for Haddington and Lammermuir area. And interestingly, the chair of Haddington Lammermuir owns a golf course. So I hadn't made that connection before. I've got a community development, community education background, and I've worked for the local authority for a long time. And early days, I live in North Berwick. I was involved with the resilience group in North Berwick, covering for staff there for some time. So there's a few faces that I recognise. I've known Sue for a long time. I can't even remember how far back that goes, Sue, but in various connections, yoga and all sorts of things. So nice to see everybody today.
Thanks for being here. Grant Gibson.
Hi everyone, my name's Grant. I'm a lecturer in dementia studies at the University of Stirling. I've known Sue for a number of years now, both as a student and as a collaborator on a few projects now. Most recently, and probably of most relevance to this group, is I've just been leading a Scottish Government Chief Scientist Office COVID-19 rapid response study looking at how community organisations such as those of yourselves have been adapting and responding to the pandemic.
Sounds very interesting, Grant. I'm sure if you share that with us when you're finished, that would be amazing. Thank you very much.
We've actually finished now. We're waiting on final sort of sign off of our final project report from the CSO. But once we've got that, I'd be more than happy to share that with everyone. We've also got a project website actually, which I can share in the chat, that does have some resources to support organisations like yourselves. We're updating that fairly regularly. So yes, I'll share that in the chat as well.
Thank you. Sam Scott.
Hi guys, my name's Sam Scott. I'm the Health Development Officer for Dementia with Edinburgh Leisure. I currently manage the Movement for Memories project, which supports people with dementia to be physically active. So how we do that is we have a group of volunteers who support participants, whether it's in our golf courses, gyms, tennis, fitness classes, etc. And these people support these people on a one-to-one basis to become physically active. So it'd be great to just see whether my project can be replicated in East Lothian, and you know, I'm here to sort of promote the benefits of physical activity.
Thank you. Philippa, would you like to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm involved with a number of different health and wellbeing projects in East Lothian, and was involved in setting up inclusive older people activities in Longniddry, and really also have an interest in active travel as well.
Brilliant, thank you. Libby Morris, I've got you on the screen next.
Hi everybody, I live in North Berwick and I'm chair of North Berwick in Bloom. So normally, under normal circumstances, we operate a buddy service and are very happy to take new volunteers and basically look after them and bring them along to our regular sessions. Obviously, we haven't been able to do that for a few months, but we did have some new referrals in the summertime. I have also been volunteering for the Community Befrienders in North Berwick, and I am Vice Chair of North Berwick Trust.
Thanks very much, Libby. Parveen?
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah, sorry, I'm working off my personal iPad, so it's a wee bit slower than my work computer. But
That's
hi,
all right.
I'm Parveen. I'm the Ageing Well Coordinator for East Lothian. It's a funded project which is kind of part funded by the NHS and by East Lothian Council. So my primarily main aim is to promote and encourage older adults to move more as they age. So I'm really glad and keen to be part of this group because, you know, my overall aim is to kind of make life better for the communities through the means of physical activity. So it'll be great to kind of hear what everyone has to say when we do go into our smaller groups and see where the group takes us.
Perfect, thanks, nice to see you. And Laureen/Laurie?
Hi there. I'm another one that has to think, how many hats am I wearing? But like many people, I have the pleasure of being working with Sue for quite a while, and we were jointly local coordinators for the Generations Working Together network for East and Mid Lothian. Prior to that, or maybe at the early days of that, before I ended up somehow or other being joint coordinator and now the coordinator. We also did some work around assets-based community development, and that is a big part of what my other roles are. So support from the start, one of the cluster leads for that. That's all about early years in East Lothian, the best start in life. It's about working as a network to come together. And one of the key parts of that is actually that cohesive links across the generations, which is where it took me to the generations working together alongside working in a local project in Pencaitland with a school. So my two key things that I sort of come out with now are generations working together. I'm doing more of a post with them at the moment as an intergenerational development officer, but that's specifically with a project in Jedburgh. So it's continuing the networks for East and Mid Lothian as best I can, and really interested in this project. Support from the start is very much that bit of trying to link. We had a lot of lovely projects developing actually that were linking in younger children with some older members of the community, and also very involved in the fashion school, getting up and running when Stu was still at Haddington and Lammermuir Area Partnership. So that's another role. Health and wellbeing in children and young people specifically, but in general, all things for Haddington and Lammermuir. And I'm also part of the East Lothian Play Association team, which is also very interested in intergenerational work. And just really that whole thing about cohesion, knitting together, celebrating who we've got, wonderful assets in our communities, and how we come together to make the best of that, really. So very excited about this. It was great to get a call. And yes, I'll be there.
Brilliant, thank you. Good to have you here. Next on my screen, Kathy Wright. Oh, still
okay.
muted. There we go. Brilliant, yeah.
Hi everyone, my name's Kathy Wright. Recently retired lecturer at Heriot-Watt, and I have taken on being chair of North Berwick Gardening Club, which was formerly known as the Horticultural Society. And that move is to try change the name, try and open up gardening, anyone interested in gardening. Yes, there's an element of horticultural excellence, but we want it to be much more than that. So I'm just here to see how we maybe open that up to the wider community.
Brilliant. One of the things that is safe to do during COVID. So, so Jo is next on my screen. Oh,
great. Jo McNamara, retired community worker, except I don't think community workers ever do really retire. So since stopping being in paid employment a couple of years ago, I'm still involved in many things around the community. I'm currently chair of Sustaining Dunbar, on the board of a small community arts organisation that does do work across the community with people. We've done some projects with people with the dementia network in Dunbar, and it's so really on behalf of the Dunbar Dementia Network that I'm involved in this meeting today. And so Dunbar Dementia Network, its kind of main aim is to provide a range of opportunities for social contact for people affected by dementia in Dunbar. So that's both the carers and the families and the person affected by dementia. So we've had a wee challenge over lockdown with that, and that's kind of led to us developing iPad based contact with people. So there's been a few thrills and spills with that one kind of along the way. You can imagine sort of like getting sort of like people who are not in that world of using IT, but we've managed, we've kind of gotten through, and I guess like everybody else, we're just looking forward to the time when, you know, we can be back in each other's company again.
Absolutely, and digital inclusion is one of the things that we're wanting to focus on as well. So it would be great to hear more on your experience there. Thank you. Tracy?
Hi, I'm Tracy Redpath. I work for Volunteer Centre East Lothian, and we're the third sector interface in East Lothian. I'm a locality officer down there, so my primary role is supporting local charities to get up and running, helping them with governance, fundraising. But at the moment, I'm working on the Community Task Force project. So as a lot of y'all know, the community resilience teams have stepped down. They're no longer insured by the council. So Community Task Force is going to do the same sort of job, but across the county. That should be up and running by next week, and there will be an announcement coming out from the council and ourselves. There'll be links on the website for people to register if they want to volunteer in their local area, and we'll coordinate all the requests that come in for people needing a prescription delivered, some shopping done, dog walking, whatever it might be. And yeah, we'll be sending out more information about that. It's quite exciting, but it's a huge job. Didn't quite realise how many volunteers there had been during Resilience until I spoke to someone in Dunbar who said they'd had about 180. So yeah, if I take that times all the towns, yeah, it's going to be a big task.
That was the official ones, Tracy, in Dunbar, because there were people who weren't on George's list.
All right, okay, Jackie.
and we have we have got going again, and some people we're still being supporting.
Yeah, of course.
Since March, I'm out this afternoon, and it takes me 3 hours to do one person shopping.
Yeah, it's a huge task, and everybody that's been involved up until now, I take my hat off to them. All these people that are every day going out and doing some shopping or whatever it might be. My other role, other part of my job at the moment is we have set up a community pantry within our office in conjunction with the Penny Pit. So it's free food available to people who need it. They don't have to be means tested or anything. So yeah, that's open Monday to Friday every morning.
Brilliant.
So where we're at just now. Any questions on the community task force though? I'll share my direct phone number. If anybody needs to get in touch with me, let me know. All right.
Thank you very much. Thanks. Tracy.
Yeah, good.
Wendy,
face to the name.
I'm going to phone you later, Jackie.
I'm going out, and it takes me I'll be going out about 1:30, and I won't get back till about 5.
Right, okay, I'll get you at some point.
Guys,
Thanks.
can you just follow that up through the chat, because we really need to get around folks. I'm really sorry.
I've got Wendy next, if you want to introduce yourself.
Great, thank you, Maya. I'll keep myself short and sweet. I'm really chuffed to join you this morning for a wee while. I'm at the Scottish Social Services Council. We work closely with colleagues in health on dementia education and learning, mostly to share promoting excellence resources and embed the promoting excellence framework. And we do that through a network of dementia ambassadors and dementia champions. I've a new guide that I hope, it's an online guide that I hope to promote in, and I was going to say the new year, but in the next couple of weeks. And there's supporting workers to support individuals to keep active and engaged and be fully involved as active citizens in their communities. So I was feeling a bit out of touch, but even just hearing your roles and what folk are doing, it's a great reminder to me. And, you know, I'm hoping I can, if I can't stay with you all morning, but, you know, keep in touch and share some links. Thank you.
Thank you, and we'll be following this up with emails as well, so everybody can keep in touch. Sorry, next on my screen, Christine, Chambers.
Hi, Maya. I'm Christine Chambers. I'm from the East Lothian Health and Social Care Partnership. I'm one of the planning and performance members. My colleague, unfortunately, who's much more involved in the dementia work, is not able to be here, but we were keen that one of us joined you. Excuse me. So my background's mental health, and we're really just keen to hear. It's really interesting. I'm scribbling notes here. There's obviously so much going on. It's really informative, but I'm keen to take back to my colleagues and hopefully feed in a bit as well. But hope that's helpful.
Yep. Brilliant. Thanks for being here. And our other Christine Ryder, I've got you next.
Hi, I'm Christine Ryder from Outside the Box. I'm a community worker, and we support groups and people across Scotland to make a difference in their communities. And I'm in the South East team, which covers Borders, East Lothian, Mid Lothian and Edinburgh. I've mostly worked in Borders for the last little while, and I met through Sue through our Food Buddies project, which was all aspects of food for people who are living with dementia. And we've been working lots through for the last year still. And I have set up a new Digital Buddies project, which is about getting older people connected to the wider world, which could be of interest. But yeah, so
Definitely.
that's me quickly.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Tim, I've got you on my screen next, Tim Senior.
Hi everyone, I'm Tim. I'm research lead for the innovation agency SuperSum, and I've been working with the UK Meeting Centres programme the last year or so to develop new programmes, projects and strategies for helping their members live well in their communities, including projects around COVID-19 for helping people stay connected when they don't have access to technology at all. And it's through that I've had the pleasure of meeting Sue. And that's what we hope to take forward in some way. Thank you.
Thanks very much. Good to see you. And Wilma Porteous.
Hi, can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
That's fine. Yeah, I'm working off the iPad in the office. I'm Wilma Porteous and I work for East Lothian Library Service. We're very keen to be involved with this, with the communities. Normally I'm based in Preston Pans, but at the moment I'm in Musselburgh because of all the uncertain times. I've known Sue through the library service and through Generations Working Together group. So I'm very keen for the libraries to be on board with this. I think it's something we can help with. We could be a one-stop shop, first point of contact for anyone that needs us. When I was in the Pans, I did start up a group called Pans Pals, because I'm very keen to combat social isolation for people that are just sitting in looking at four walls every day, wanted to get them out, meeting new people, and it was a great success. We had a core group of 15 and their stories were amazing. We had someone that brought along old photos of all East Lothian, got them talking, and very keen to take this forward. To get one started in every library in East Lothian was my aim. So I'm still hoping for that. But really keen to be involved with anything you guys need from us. And Sue, very happy for my email to be shared. Thank you.
Thanks, Wilma. That's brilliant. That sounds like a great project to go ahead with. Who have I got next? I've got Chloe Roger.
Hi everyone, I'm from Musselburgh. I'm a final year student nurse at QMU. So I've been working with Sue for quite a wee while now, just on everything really. But of course I look after people with dementia quite a lot in the care aspect, but I'm hoping to just contribute in any way I can to help in the community.
Thanks, Chloe. Dawn? So,
yeah, bizarre. I'm muting. Hi everybody, I'm Dawn Irvin from Capital Theatres. So Capital Theatres is the festival in King's Theatres in Edinburgh. I lead on all our dementia friendly arts programme projects and our creative ageing at both theatres. And I should also say we've got a small studio theatre as well, but it seems to always get left out, poor studio theatre. So I have, over the last sort of 2 years, built a great relationship with Sue and Maya, and we've worked and collaborated together on a number of little programmes for people living with dementia and those that are potentially experiencing social isolation. I, as I say, lead on the dementia arts programme, and on another sort of hat as well, I'm a ballroom and Latin coach as well for Dance Base, which is the National Centre for Dance in Edinburgh. And I'm also the trustee of the Forget Me Nots project, which is a local dementia inclusive singing group that's in Edinburgh. So anything that I hear about with Dementia Friendly East Lothian and Sue and Maya and some of the other faces that I've met that are on the screen, it's always great to just come together and chat about what we can do and how we can celebrate our communities. So that's why I'm here.
Thank you, Dawn. And I know we've had a couple of people joining, so if it's okay, we're just going around to say a little bit about who you are and why you're here. And I've got Lucy on my screen next.
Hello, I just unmute myself. My name's Lucy Schofield. I'm Trinent CARS Officer, which is Conservation Area Regeneration Officer. I've been based in Trinent for the last 4 years, and alongside some of the town centre regeneration, we've been hosting all sorts of events to encourage people to think about the history and heritage and some of the buildings in the town centre. And we started taking walks around the area with a small group of people and just trying to sort of collect stories and discover sort of history about the town centre. We've hosted all sorts of events with sort of drop-in storytelling events with lots of photos of the old buildings, and we also, through some of the events, we put on talks about some of the key buildings, you know, because there was during my time over the last 4 years, they demolished the old cinema and have rebuilt new cinema and community space. I don't know whether David's here. For the local community, and so we did little talks and events to do with some of the key buildings, the history in the past, and we then started collaborating with an ethnographer and making some sort of sound recordings of the walks, and he's currently setting up a website that's going to be called Trinent Voices, and so that's kind of where we are at the moment. So I have, although the CARS scheme's coming to an end relatively soon, some point this year, I have lots of resources for, you know, for people to share with people, lots of pictures of old buildings, lots of, you know, bits of research about the town centre, and we have a whole series of little walking routes and some oral histories. So I'm keen to sort of share that with whoever and collaborate in whatever way is possible.
Brilliant. Thanks so much, Lucy. That all sounds great. I'm just looking to see who I've got next. Emily, I've got you on my screen.
Hi everyone, sorry I was a bit late to the meeting. I'm Emily, I'm the Conservation Officer at the Scottish Seabed Centre, and I know Sue and Maya and a few other people on the call from working with the Community Resilience Group during the first wave of the pandemic. Since then at the Scottish Seabed Centre we've been working to try and connect some more isolated people with nature when it's not necessarily been so easy to get outside. So we've been doing that by creating a digital pack, which we're still kind of adding to and adapting and sharing that with care homes and different members of the community as well. We're just looking to do more and keen to get involved where we can.
Thanks, Emily. Thanks for joining us. And Adele, am I pronouncing that right?
Perfectly, fair play.
Oh, good. Hi there.
So hi everyone, and thanks for having me join in so late. So I'm Adele Roddy is my name, and I'm here in the capacity of being in my first week of working with Generations Working Together, and part of my role with Generations Working Together will actually be incorporating a range of resources that were developed in a project I worked on, which was called Connections, which was about creating community in care homes. So that was a research project with the University of the West of Scotland, which officially finished in December. But as part of that project, there was a wide range of resources developed. How can I help? To help build connections between people in care homes. So these resources are in the theme of knowing me and knowing you. So I'm working with the Generations Working Together team to see about just letting people know basically about that these resources exist, that they're free, and that we'd welcome as many people as possible to use them. So they were designed in the context of the care home, but they're primarily about conversational resources that help humans to connect. So while designed for care homes, they can be used across all settings. And so at the moment I'm working in a self-employed capacity. So I I'm also engaging with Hearts and Minds on a disruption award around disrupting public perceptions around the capacity of people with advanced dementia. And yes, it's also doing some work on human rights in care homes as well. So primarily here in the context of generations working together, but also interested in more widely around care homes and perceptions around dementia as well.
Brilliant, thank you so much. And we had Margaret from Carers of East Lothian. I'm not sure if, are you still here, Margaret? I can't see you on my screen, but you did pop in. Perhaps she's popped out again. So that's everyone. Thank you so much. And it's great to meet everyone properly and hear all the amazing things that you're already doing, and hopefully can do more with us. That'll be amazing. And there's lots of different skills coming in. So I'm just going to share my screen now and put up some slides that you were sent through before, but I know everybody's busy. So we've also put them in the chat at the very top if you want to get your own copy there. But I'm going to share my screen and Sue's going to talk a little bit more about the project.
Hi guys, the plan is simply just to put these in front of you for a short period, just kind of make a transition and then go into smaller groups for people just to chat, which we're going to allocate at random, having decided serendipity has got us this far. I'm sure it can get us further. So you've had...
Sorry, I realise I didn't come round to you to introduce yourself, but I'm sure everybody
it doesn't matter.
knows who you are.
Don't waste time. Can we go back to is that the beginning? There we go.
Yeah.
So having seen what communities did around East Lothian to support people that I love and work with through Dementia Friendly East Lothian and couldn't help. I couldn't go to Prestonpans, I couldn't go to Dunbar, but I saw and heard how the work that local communities were doing was helping people, which was what Dementia Friendly East Lothian is all about, is that, not me doing it, but communities embracing everybody. I didn't want to lose that. I didn't want to lose that when we all went back to whatever else we were doing. And in our community in North Berwick, we really valued the friendships, the relationships, the projects, the skills we made as a community, and we wanted to keep them. So we batted up some ideas based on the experiences I'd heard from the community, the Spocks. I love it. I'm not a Spock anymore, but this, which is the single point of contact for the resilience team, the community councils, the health and wellbeing partnerships, community organisations, and turned it into a proposal to the Life Changes Trust for a small grant, which is 14,000 and something, to do something. We weren't sure what, but we knew there was something to do to work with communities across East Lothian, and also the national projects like Dawn from the Festival Theatre, and others that had actually stepped in and worked with us even on Zoom and just made it up as we went along. So that's what this is about. What is it that we did that we really value, that we can grow and build on as communities? Do you want to just fix through the slides? Yeah. So that's what inspired it, was that. All of that. So one of the examples was that we worked with, you'll all have your own examples. Astley House is a small care home, independent care home. I think it's the only one in its chain, so I think it's it, in North Berwick. And they got in touch. Everybody remembered the Abbey, everybody remembered some of the other, the Eddington, but forgot about Astley House, basically. So we got in touch. Linda got a kindness hamper around to them and her shoppers as part of the resilience team. We were working with Rotary and the Community Council around digital inclusion. So we got a smart screen and a tablet. And guidance. We worked with Graham from Kiri Connections, who was working also with people with dementia and digital inclusion in the community. We got advice from them. And Dawn, we drew a list. Maya did a list of what's on. And we gave it them, and then they saw what Dawn was doing at the festival theatres, the concerts and the music there. So we got them hooked up, and everybody had a great time. But they didn't get the free afternoon tea that people in Edinburgh got. So the Beacon Bakers, the Beacon Lunch Club was closed because of COVID. The bakers were itching to bake, and did the tea, and that continues, that relationship and support continues. And all it required was a bit of widgeting, and the community came together to do something really special, and those relationships continue. Community relationships, connecting people and support. And that a tiny example, Dawn and I took it to the Life Changes Trust conference a little while ago, was kind of, we knew that was happening everywhere. We knew every community was doing similar little things that made a huge difference. And so that's what this is. We've got some ideas what we'd like to do, but this is a project really that is for all of us to decide what we can do with it. It should not be limited by any one of ours imaginations. So the conversations just need to start, I think, about what we'd like to do. We know there's massive resources in terms of energy, enthusiasm, people, places, cake, dogs, golf, sport, music, all of the stuff, and we are inspired by all of the stuff that we've had contact with. And I think that's probably it. I can't control the slides. No, was that it? Is that the last one? So what we're suggesting is we'll allocate 2 rooms. We were thinking 20 minutes to half an hour in the breakout, but we'll flex. So we'll just see how that goes. Short coming together at the end, begin to put some ideas on the whiteboard, decide what we want to do next, which might be meet again, do something, whatever. The conversation will continue, and the people who can't be here today, we'll keep them informed and keep them in the loop. And yeah, Wendy, we'll keep in touch. Thank you for popping in. Wendy's been along with me on my journey for so long. Good to see you. Thank you. So that's what we thought we'd do. So we're going to do that Harry Potter thing where you get weeked into a breakout room. Before that happens, please take a bit of time during your breakout period to get a cup of tea, have a pee, have a walk, do whatever you need to do. 20 minutes to half an hour, we'll pop round. Mara and I will just keep in touch. If your group feels like it hasn't got a good mix or doesn't feel quite right and you want to change, you can chat with us. Thanks, Diane, for coming. It's been nice to see you. Yeah, thanks for popping in. We'll let everybody know what happens. Then just say, because we can just week people around. Does that sound okay? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to assign...
going to do the weaker on. Seatbelts on. I love this bit. We'll see you later, guys.
See you soon. And yeah, because we're going to come back at the end, if somebody in the group could take a little note to let us all know what you've been discussing afterwards. Here we go.
Hi guys, welcome back. If anybody, do you need a quick breather in between? Would you like a couple of minutes just to stretch legs or get straight in? If you could put a thumbs up if you're happy carrying straight on. You got a little thing? Most people are happy carrying straight on. Excellent. Yeah, if you need to go, go. Brilliant. So we'll just carry straight on. And as you know, if you need to go or whatever, just go. Excellent, guys. Thank you.
What time are you planning to finish, Sue?
Well, you can go any time, but we should be finished. Depends how long you talk for, really, Jackie. Sorry, you collectively. So we're going to just go around each of the five groups and just get some feedback. So if people could just give 5-minute feedback from each group, that is 25 minutes. And then we'd like 5-10 minutes just to decide what we want to do next, or if we want to meet again or whatever, and then stop. But please go if you need to. Is that okay?
Yeah.
So it's in your hands how long it takes. Okay, should we start with group 6? Thanks, Philippa. Thanks for coming. Okay. And bye, Ian. He's gone, right, golf. Ian's gone to play golf. Enjoy, Ian. Hope you get your hole in one.
I'm just going to share my
Doing
screen.
well.
So Maya's going to put stuff up on the whiteboard for us. It's a bit of a break from looking at faces as well. So, and we will, you can all see the whiteboard? Okay, should we start with group 6? Do you know who you are, group 6? Breakout room 6.
That was Grant, Parveen.
Yeah.
Kathy.
Anybody from the group that had Grant and Parveen and?
Yeah, I'll fill you guys in. Sorry, I thought we were group 5. That's why I was keeping.
Oh, well, you
quiet
can
there.
be group 5 if you want.
I think the main thing we kind of took from our conversation was the new relationships that we have built over the past year and how we go about and ensuring that we sustain these going forward. So I think that was a massive thing that we took from our conversation, is not to forget the groups and the relationships you have formed and going back to your old ways, I suppose. So that's something that we did speak about. We also spoke about, I suppose, the digital world has opened up a lot of opportunities. Although there's some hindrances with regards to people not having digital means, there has been obviously projects that have been offering the likes of tablets, iPads, and it's, I suppose we were then questioning how have people gone about, you know, teaching them to use, because obviously that face-to-face contact, social distancing, you know, we're not able to obviously do at the moment. And then another thing we spoke about was how do we share experiences that everyone has been doing. So is that, for example, coming on a hub like we are today and sharing experiences? Because I know, for an example, is I didn't know Libby from North Berwick and Bloom. So for me, that's a great relationship already building there. And I can obviously refer people to her as and when we can do that. And it's just remembering that little things mean and go a long way, really. So the likes of the rainbows that people were doing for the NHS, I know for me, going out on a walk every day and seeing them, it really brightened up my day. So, you know, just the small things like that. I know that Libby was talking about a small project that they're planning to do this year is they're going to get like empty fish boxes and plant plants in there and put them out in the front garden, you know, and just seeing that on your walk, it really does brighten up someone's day. So it's these little things that really make a difference and go that long way and bringing communities together, basically. So that's kind of a few points too that we brought out from that conversation.
Fantastic. That's fantastic. And other groups, just feel free to repeat or say something different if it's important to your group. Okay, do you want to pick another group, Maya? Because I think you've got...
Sure, yeah. Group 3. So that's Wilma, Alan, Claire and Sam.
Okay, off you go, guys.
You happy for... Am I group 3, Maya?
Yeah.
Do you recognise those names, Claire?
Yes, thank you very much. I recognise my name. That's all I've got. So we had a great exchange. So I just want to say thank you. And I really felt the benefit of bringing together different perspectives was really useful and how transferable they were. We talked a lot about, I suppose, what's in real life? What did we learn better that could transfer to this new world that we're in? How do we bring it in better? There was a comment about the speed with which we have to respond these days. So how do we become more agile? The promotion of available information is always a challenge. People say, I don't know about this, and how you do that more centrally. We talked about sharing again, the same as group 6, but a template for success. And also there was a conversation about if things keep changing, how do we get that hybrid? So sometimes you might have real life, but you might choose to do something online, especially as you get older. And I think that might have been, have I missed anything from our group, or do you anything to add? So the hybrid, Maya, is more the combination of you sometimes choose to do something in real life, but equally so you do something online, depending on how you feel at that particular time.
It's currently being described as blending work.
Blending, that's
blending. But hybrid might be better. New languages, new concepts.
Yeah, blended. Yes, so I didn't know which word best.
I'm trying to get Grant's expression on that one.
Blended learning, as they use in the education department.
There we go. Blended
families.
families.
That's a perfect.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, next group.
So group 1, do you want to go next? So it's Tim, Laureen, Linda, Christine and Dawn.
We've lost Tim, and I kind of thought Tim was going to end up being a key spokesperson.
Hang on,
to leave for another meeting.
Should we move to another group then and see if Tim's just nipped out?
No, he's so
he's gone.
I didn't take any notes, but hopefully we'll all chip in.
Yeah.
I left for a comfort break and came back, and we were on sort of structure and organisation and what's learned from work that's been done during this year or previously, and it was that bit about, again, sharing the knowledge base, the who's willing to help, who, you know, that very much that, you know, sharing out who else is in the area that could do something, but trying to re-energize through, so making it easier if there's some structure there that people can link into in their local areas or across all of East Lothian, so we know more about who's doing what, and who has the skills to help with the next stages, and groups perhaps being a bit more aligned so that you could come together. And we spoke about the benefits of things like the North Berwick Trust, where some of that setup is there, but more people need to know it exists. So also about singing it from the rooftops, what amazing work's going on, what fabulous people we have, people feeling connected and really enjoying their communities and feeling like it's something they want to be very involved in. So that dual kind of aspect of what can be done, what can be learned from what we've done, that would make things knit together a lot better. And just a shared feeling of when we get that right at the beginning, there's less demand goes down the sort of medicalized or formalized routes. We just have a much healthier community that we live in because people are enjoying it, reach out for help earlier, that type of thing. But I'm sure there was loads more sort of that we should have been jotting down. So if anybody else in the groups can think of what I've missed, please pop it in.
Yeah, there was also a bit of talk about, you know, what is it that we actually want to achieve through celebrating communities. And I think Tim started off the conversation, he was talking about, is it something more formalised, as in going as far as a bricks and mortar building like a meeting centre, or is it more about a consortia of bringing certain groups at different levels together, and that's a way of being able to get larger scale funding. And then we also, one of the things that was brought up was about the idea of mapping, and I think Group 6 maybe touched on that as well, that we need to, how do we share experiences, and what's the best way to go about it, and how do we map all these great things that are happening at a grassroots, and how do we find the pathfinders and the links to bring it all together, was something else.
We also talked about the challenges of funding, Sue. Funding challenges and short, you know, having to reapply for funding again and again, and the resources, the personnel resources that go into it, and the stresses associated, and the loss of learning if you're not successful.
Right, thanks Christine, that's great. What we'll do is, if there's stuff people want to add to these, we're going to find a way of sharing stuff. I think we're hoping Tim will help us with that as well, so that people can add to things. Thank you very much. Okay, we have 2 more groups to go. Oh, 2 more groups to go. Group 2 or group?
Yeah, so we've got group 2 is Christy, Rona, Lucy, Jackie and Ian.
Well, Ian's headed off.
I took some notes if
thank you.
The group's happy for me to share. We spent a lot of time talking about just existing projects that are in place and success stories of helping people feel less isolated. So we talked about basically all the different avenues we could go down, like walking buddies, digital buddies, letter buddies, hybrids of 2 or 3, and basically just talked about how do we communicate to people what's going on, how do we reach out to people who maybe don't want to be reached out to or don't realise the benefits of reaching out, and just talked as well about the issue of people maybe not having all the right information, and how do we get that information to them. So in terms of what's a safe environment, what are the benefits of meeting up with other people, what are the benefits of technology, some nice success stories of people who've never thought in a million years they could use an iPad, and now they're doing their online shopping and everything. And I think that's it. I don't know if anybody...
We were also talking about, you know, there's the digital inclusion of, you know, encouraging people to use technology, but technology doesn't always replace actually physically being able to go for a walk with somebody. We got onto the idea of virtual reality walks and other ways of people experiencing a walk, particularly with the lady from the dog walking. But we also touched on digital exclusion, which has been a feature at the East Lothian Recovery Group meetings, and there is a working group looking at that further, because sometimes even if somebody has got the technology, there can be other reasons why they can't access it fully. For example, if somebody has a very severe hearing loss, they might be able to know what to do with Zoom, they just can't engage, because, you know, say somebody who went to meetings and used a hearing loop and just cannot follow Zoom at all because their hearing has deteriorated so much more. And that's somebody who was very involved in community life in Dunbar.
Yeah, thanks ever so much. That's great.
I just said we also spoke a little bit about recovery and how we recover as communities. Right at the very beginning, that's what we started off with, was recovery, and how we get people to feel safe to go back out into their communities after a year of being told to stay away from each other.
Yeah, I certainly liked your block walk idea, Christina.
Can we,
that was
Jackie,
a nice idea.
Yeah, Jackie, we've not got a lot of time. I'm very tempted to have conversations with all of you, but I know you want to go. Okay, one more group to go, guys. We're nearly there. One more group. Who's not spoken? Which group hasn't had their Tottenham's worth?
Group 5.
Group 5.
Group 5. So like that's our group. So we had a really interesting conversation about 3 quite specific projects. There's the gardening club and the fish boxes through Kathy, and then we talked a lot about Anthony's the golf project, and then also Nadia jumped in and talked about dementia dogs as well. I think all 3 were really interesting. Really, some of the things that Anthony brought up, I think, were about like the maximizing of the value of different of the resources that we're using. So the golf clubs are fantastic because they've got a built infrastructure physically, the buildings, which can be used as well as the green spaces, and they can also provide through the buddying for people with dementia an opportunity in that same moment for carers to benefit from connections with one another, with other organizations, signposting, peer-to-peer support. There's ways in which different types of people might begin to volunteer through a project such as the golf one. Maybe a man who plays golf, you might not ordinarily think of volunteering in other aspects, might want to volunteer in this type of role. So it's really trying to, any project which is happening, looking at all the different aspects of it and trying to pull out where the different benefits can be found. It doesn't have to be just about a very explicit, this is for this purpose. There's lots of things that come off that. And through that, so we talked about the diversity, the importance of a diversity of projects, particularly if we're thinking from a dementia perspective. Some projects might need to be framed as being dementia specific or dementia inclusive. Other things might need to be framed without any dementia being highlighted in what it is. It's just a normal community project that anybody can become involved in. And through that, like the gardening one, for example, brought in or would like to bring in a degree of intergenerational working as well. So there's schools, there's care homes, bringing in the broad range of people that live in a community to work together. And perhaps COVID has helped in some respect break down some barriers between different stratas or demographics within a community. And so to continue that and to keep those barriers down rather than rebuild them between places. And then we talked about some of the issues that were mentioned in the previous group about obviously a lot of people have been isolated for a long time now, and it's very good to share and prescribe and to say that these things are available and to have that information in the hands of families, health and social care practitioners, communities, etc. But there's also that need for buddies and ways to actually make the physical step back out into the world. And so there's the Dementia Dogs providing a sort of virtual portal through the walks that might be recorded on a phone, or it might be through needing to have an actual companion, an actual person that's there with you to help stagger that reintroduction to taking part in things. And also about some of the immediacy of this. about finding out from people. How do we find out from people what they want, and how can we use the resources that we have in the most targeted ways to mirror the needs that people are identifying over the coming months?
That's brilliant. That's great. Thank you, Guy. Whistle stop tour, and I bet everybody was itching to say more, add more, develop it. Thank you very, very much. Rather than talk about this now, which I know people are leaving and I know you'll all have to go, is can you share the mission?
Just saving that so we can send it around.
And we'll send it around to folks. I suppose the question then is what next? And the question for me is like, is it useful for us to set up a series of Zooms maybe at different times just to keep the conversation going? You can of course have conversations just whilst we get through this first stage, and any other ways of sharing. We use Zoom because it's easy, but I know there are people who know about Google Docs and other nightmare scenarios for me and many of my generation. What's the most useful thing that we can do at the moment? Do we want to carry on the conversation? Can you have a quick vote? Put your thumb, you've got a little thing at the box saying reactions. Get rid of that.
No,
thumbs up, yeah. Don't worry, I can see your thumbs, Jackie. Right, so we want to continue. Is it helpful if we book another Zoom meeting? You can leave them up if you're happy. Yeah. Can we use Doodle to do that, or would you? Or the right? No. The alternative is every other Thursday, or alternate Thursdays and Tuesdays, or Thursdays. We will do an evening one. We've had people who can't come today. So if we say every other Thursday, we'll be here, me and Maya, one way or another, and we'll look at finding another space for people who can't manage, and people just drop in. We'll keep you informed. Most of you said we can share email addresses. We'll do that. We've got the recording, and we'll just see where we go. I just all the lovely things I'd heard of are here, as well as more that I've found out so much more today. I can only say thank you. Is there anything else I've missed? No, Linda, no?
No, I don't know what I'm doing. Just
I have never heard Linda say no to anything, ever.
No, I was playing with the reactions and I don't know how to get rid of the hand, sorry.
Talk to the hand. We'll share all that, and you can just add to the documents and put in. We'll share the chat, and we'll get together again. And please get in touch any time with Maya or me or each other, and let's just see. The Life Changes Trust is supposed to be setting up a learning network for these projects. We know already, we don't know who it is, we don't know what's happening yet. The other dementia-friendly communities up north and Dunblane and Prestwick are really, really keen to link into us too. So we know that other communities who are like ours, the community-led groups, are very keen to learn together. So I think it's a really exciting time. I think you deserve your lunch. Guys, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. See you soon. Stay well, stay safe, stay happy. 2 legs, 4 legs. No legs if you're a fish person.
Thanks,
no mermaids.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sue. Thanks, Maya.
Bye.
I hope you always